So we are making blackened salmon and asparagus. We love asparagus. It's super good for you, and we love our salmon blackened because it's healthy still.
And it's one of my favorite meals too.
Yeah, and it's so good. And we are going to make enough that we can still prep for the rest of the week so we can stay on track.
Yep.
So we have our asparagus. And we watched it, and then we're going to keep the band on it so we can cut off the ends. And then we are going to roast it in the oven on 425 for 15 minutes. Set my timer for 15. Okay. So we're going to lay it out on a pan. Enough that we'll still have some for dinner and for the week. I need olive oil. Not too much olive oil. It's a good fat, but you don't want to go crazy with it. So I just drizzle it a little bit. And I mix it so it gets all over the asparagus evenly. Later. Okay. And then garlic powder. We use garlic on a lot of food, constantly, almost daily. Pepper. And then we do a little bit of sea salt, and that's just like the olive oil. You can use a little bit, but I wouldn't go crazy with it because salt is sodium, and that will make you hold water. And a little bit will go a long way, and then I mix again. Okay. And then wait for that to preheat. And then we have our salmon, which looks delicious, and we cut it into smaller pieces because we try to do 4 ounces of meat, or just, you know, a reasonable portion. We don't measure everything, but that way we kind of know what we're eating and we're not eating too many calories, and just portion control is going to go a long way. So. And a little bit so it doesn't stick. And we keep the skin on when we first start cooking it and let it kind of get the juice, but we don't actually eat the skin. I think some people do, but we do not. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands. Danny, you want to talk about your salmon addiction?
My salmon addiction? Well, yeah, it seems to be that 2 to 3 times out of the week, I'm asking Lexi to make salmon, and it's one of my favorites. So
it's just so good. It doesn't taste, you don't get the fishy taste, and we just use Blackened from Kroger. We've tried other Blackened, and we didn't like it as much. For some reason, this just makes it taste so good. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting it on. And how much you use is just kind of up to you, but we just try and cover it for the most part. So now I'm going to let it cook, and once it preheats, I will pop it in the oven. And then basically, once this heats up, we're going to take off the skin, and we're going to flip it, and then we'll take off the skin and blacken it on the other side and cook it probably for about 10 minutes until it is nice and done. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it so I can take off the skin. And after it's been cooking a little while, the skin just pulls right off. We don't want to eat the skin. If I can flip it. careful, it might be hot. Coming off a little bit. Use my spatula here. That's why I have a metal one. Makes it a little bit easier for getting the skin off. Alright, so we got all of our fish. The other side of the salmon as well. We're cooking it on a medium heat so we don't overcook it. You gotta be careful with fish, it can get overcooked. But I don't think we've ever had it taste bad when we blackened it. It's always been super good. And we only use Atlantic salmon. We tried sockeye salmon and it was not as good. And we always just get the fresh salmon. But obviously if you don't have to have it fresh, you could get frozen. Okay. So that is done. So now we are just waiting for it to blacken on the other side and we'll flip it again. Alright, our asparagus is preheated, so we are going to put it in the oven. Alright, so we got our salmon and our asparagus all plated in our water so that we can stay hydrated. So thank you guys for watching our videos, and comment below and subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well. It's Fat Girl Fed Up. Thanks!